I have many like religious friends, Muslim, and they always ask me like, why Sufism? It's not trending, you know?
It's not trending. Is it old city, real old city? Mohammed Saleh. Yeah? Mohammed Saleh. Mohammed,
Yeah.
Ariel,
أهلا وسهلا.
how are you? Ahlan.
Good.
Welcome to the fifth quarter.
Yeah.
Do you know where is it? The fifth quarter in the old city? We have the Muslim quarter, the Jewish quarter, Christian quarter, and Armenian quarter.
Yeah.
Where is the fifth quarter?
Why it's called quarter?
Quarter
If
is...
it's fifth.
They are the first one who asked that question.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here.
So you studied Sufism? Sufism.
Yeah.
Yeah, for how long? For how many years?
Maybe like from age of 20. I'm now 33.
Wow, so 13 years.
Yeah.
Is there an age that you should start, like, you know,
No.
you can study Sufism from birth?
Yeah, if you grew up in a Sufi family, yeah.
So you're coming from a Sufi family?
No. My ancestors are, yeah. My grandfather was, but my family, no. My father and mother, no. Nobody practiced Sufism. My experience with Sufism was in Tunisia. I went to Tunisia to study, and I had like a wake up experience. Let's call it like this. Then I start searching about my ancestors and why nobody mentioned that. Why nobody talk about Sufism in my life? I needed to go away from my family to understand.
So it's like the voyage and return.
Yeah.
You know, like the alchemist. You have to go as far as you can
Yeah.
in order to touch it. And then you can come and bring it back.
It's always inside.
What got you to do it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what make a person stand up in the morning and start to walk, and without knowing where, but knowing that there is something there waiting for them? What was the spark? Like that moment that you were like, is anybody told you something? Or?
Yeah, I was in Tunisia. I was sitting with friends of mine, and near the desert. Like it's a desert, not near the desert. It's a city called Gbili.
Gbili,
Yeah.
in Tunisia.
Yeah. And I was sitting with my friends, and they started like, let's all pray for Abdul Qadir al-Jilani. Abdul
Qadir al-Jilani.
يعني
Okay.
يعني القطب. Now to explain who's that, Abdul Qadir al-Jilani. Now you said the fifth quarter. He's a 1/4 of the fourth, like big imam.
Oh.
And this is one of my, like, he's the grandfather
Of Sufism.
of my family.
Your family.
Yeah.
And I heard that Ali Talib is like
Ali ibn Abi Talib, you mean?
he started it,
Started Sufism.
or maybe brought it into the world.
What's Sufism first? Let's define Sufism.
Let's define Sufism.
Okay. Sufism.
So if what I heard is the inward dimension of Islam,
Yeah.
I heard that it's the Islamic Mysticism.
Yeah.
I heard that the foundation of it are before the Islam.
Okay.
It's that's what I heard from what you mean the academy.
Okay.
What do you know?
Now, I was studying history. I'm like obsessed of studying history. I was like into modern history, then like World War II, you know, like I was a teenager then. I started studying about Islamic history.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like, you can call him like a godfather. He felt like I have two parts of me. I have one kind of believe Muhammad, let's go, and a believe
Mm-hmm.
someone that believes in God or
Spiritual.
So he was feeding me books, giving me books to give me like another approach to what I have like conflict inside of me.
Who is this guy?
He's from Tunisia.
He is the person in Tunisia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was like a father for me. He's a Tunisian Bedouin like guy, and
It was all like you met him in the desert.
No.
There was a tent over there.
No,
It's
that's
romantic.
nice. I would prefer that story, but it wasn't
It was not like that. Okay.
Yeah, I prefer that. You can say.
No, well, I mean,
I like it. But no,
No,
it
okay.
wasn't like this. It was like a common friend
Yeah.
of my family.
Mhm.
So, and I went to Tunisia to study media and theater, and so,
So he gave you tools
yeah,
that you haven't had before
yeah,
to dive into mysticism.
no,
Not mysticism.
No.
Spiritual.
he's not into Sufism at all.
At all.
No, he's more like religious, not like orthodox. You can't call him orthodox. He's like, he has his own theory. let's
Yeah.
say. But he's religious. I'm not.
You're not religious.
No.
I heard that Sufism is more of like a way of life. Like
We didn't define it yet. Let's define it and then we can.
I just read in academy. I don't know what they.
I'm sorry, I'm a direct person. Okay,
Yeah.
so during my study of Islamic history, I was searching for like, let's call it like a point of view that I can express it to the people, to like, for people to say, that's true. He got it right. Then I thought I got it right, but I didn't. And it's a continuous
Path.
path and search. My story with mysticism, Sufism, is that Sufism is a movement that started in the second, we can call it like this, with the name Sufism, Sufi, in the second century of what the history called the Islamic Empire, or the Arabic Empire, or whatever.
Which was when?
The second century.
Second century. Of
Yeah, that's like
which
the
is
Islamic, it's like
1200 years ago.
Islamic history starts with the Prophet
Mhm.
moving from, it's called the Hijrah, moving from Mecca
Mhm.
to Yathrib, it's called
To
the
Yathrib.
Medina.
Yeah.
Okay, then they called it in Medina. So that's when the history starts. So we're saying that like after the prophecy of basically 200 years.
200 years after.
Less, it's like less. During the second century it was.
And it started around Medina, Mecca, or it started in another area?
That's nice. That's a nice question. Now, the movement, as we call it, started in Baghdad.
In Baghdad, in
Yeah,
Iraq.
yeah.
Wow.
But all the imams used to move to Mecca and to Medina, and Mecca basically, and stay there to study.
Mm.
Now, so from where they got it? Okay, so the Prophet used, in Islam we have Quran,
Yes.
the Quran, and the Hadith,
Mhm.
Hadith.
Yes.
Okay, and from the Hadith, it's like what the Prophet used to practice, how he used to practice life.
Mhm.
One of his practices used to be going away from society
Mhm.
and be alone
Mhm.
and connect with God.
Which is like a priest or a yogi.
Yeah. Now,
And is it require celibacy? Is it required to have no money?
Now, yeah, okay. The name Sufi, there's many stories about it. So Suf is fur
Fur.
in Arabic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fur.
yeah. So basically, people with fur, it means like they are not have a proper clothes. Yeah. Simple clothes. You know, simple life, simple, not materialized life.
Yeah.
So that's a. This is what convinced me.
Yeah.
About it. And there's many stories about what Sufi and from where. Now, for as I see it, Sufism is was affected by the Eastern culture so much, from the Persian culture, from the Indian culture, Buddhism, for example. Yeah.
The way of the yogi
Yeah.
that leave the family,
Yeah.
go and slowly remove everything.
And this is the story of basically each Imam in Sufism. Like Imam, there's all of them had a really, most of them, let's say, had a really good life, financially, family-wise, and they choose another path. They choose to learn. So they leave their houses, their family, and
Is there a different, and that's always interesting in those paths. If you do come from a rich family and you have a lot to lose, and you give away everything and you go to become a Sufi,
yeah,
is there a different than a person that doesn't have anything
yeah.
and just leave his little shirt and then go? Or they are both have the same?
Now, it's the same.
It's the same eventually. Depends on the
Same,
path they are going.
because
Like society is looking at
in
different.
No, in Sufism. Now I got to Sufism from many philosophy way. There's many paths that I took to study something else that led me to Sufism, back to Sufism. For example, Friedrich Nietzsche, for example, was talking about the superhuman, what he called superhuman, and how he pictured that superhuman is that it's a guy dancing and singing and, you know, like in the street, wandering in the street. And
Like
this
a
is the
fool.
dervish.
The fool.
Yeah, no, the dervish.
The devilish.
Dervish.
Darvish.
Yeah,
Ah, the nomad.
yeah.
Like the nomad. The gypsy.
Nothing. Nothing to lose, nothing to have.
And that one is speaking truth because
Yeah.
there is nothing, you have nothing to lose, you have nothing on the table.
And he's not doing this to attract people. He's doing this because he's happy.
Mhm.
And this is what he feels.
Is there a different, correlations between, for example, what's the correlation you find between Sufism and, for example, yogi, priests, Kabbalah? You know, I feel that all the four are kind of like the way of the future,
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah,
Like, you know, the younger generation slowly is more attracted to that
yeah,
than to what was to religion.
yeah. Like
That's
how I
nice.
see it, in each philosophy or each beliefs, you can have your own path. Let's go. In Sufism, they say, "Ana al-faqir ila Allah." I'm the poor, relate to God, and I'm taking my path to God, leading me to perfection. Okay. So,
I am, say it again,
أنا الفقير إلى الله. It means I'm the poor related to God.
I'm poor, like I have nothing that relates to everything.
Yeah. It's basically I'm nothing and God is everything, and I'm going there.
But without, I see.
With zero things.
Interesting. And like without me, there is no I'm the one that can say that there is everything.
Yeah,
There's this mirror
yeah. There's many poetry
which makes you big and everything,
yeah,
as you can see.
that talks about that. So, for example, Hallaj is one of the most famous Sufi that was crossed during Al-Hallaj.
El-Hallaj. Okay.
He says, if you look at me, you see us, and if you look to him, you see us. So it's basically us.
Mirror reflection.
Yeah. In Sufism, there's many schools, by the way, and each one is different. Okay, there's more like practice-wise, more religious-wise, more like open-minded. There's Shia, there's Sunni, there's Sufi that accept different religion. There's many Sufis.
Is there meditation practices?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's based on that.
Okay.
It's called Al-Hadra.
El-Khadra.
Al-Hadra. Al-Hadra means the, not the being. I don't know what Al-Hadra means in English, but Al-Hadra, it means, it's like the arrival.
Maybe
The arrival.
The
Arrival.
the arrival.
I'll say the Hebrew just because it's interesting. Because Khadra sounds like Khoder, so that penetrates to the place.
He said that is revelation, or in a way.
Revelation, so you penetrate and you
It's like
reveal something.
Yeah.
You penetrate and you see what's inside.
you can see what. Yeah, like you know what? Because I met Dada Gunamuktananda. He is a very big yogi that I work with for years and interviewing a few times. And he says that meditation is not a healing practice, so it's a self-realization practice.
Yeah.
And it sounds like if I would have bring an expert in translation of languages, he would say Khadra maybe means self-realization.
Yeah, it means
Like when you reveal it yourself.
Yeah, I don't want like.
You're not sure.
I'm not. I have my own definition of things.
What is your definition?
Yeah,
That's
because
more important for me.
you're asking me about Sufism, and I can say what is in the books and what I read.
What is for you?
But for me, it's a self-centered experience. To be honest, it's like you be with people. And there may be music, you will be moving, you may move your head, and it's all logic. Like moving your head will affect the enzymes in your head. Yeah. Moving your head like this.
When you move your head like this?
Yeah. It will try it.
I will try. I
You
do
will-
it all the time.
Even they in Sufi they
Always
say
make progress.
is like we got not high but drunk from that
That's
experience.
that's another thing that I heard that I want to ask you,
Yeah.
which is called Sufis Dikr. Sufis Dikr or something like that.
Dhikr.
Yeah.
Dhikr.
Ecstasy ritual.
Dhikr it happens during the Hadra. Now the Hadra is a Tunisian word. And I don't know what you go to Zawiya, for example, for Sufi, and you sit like a place like this or in the ground, and people will be sitting, and it may have music. It's different like groups. People may circle. That's different group. Okay. Now with what I believe, like what is more convenient for me. There's a sheikh, imam, his name is Ibn al-Arabi, he's from Spain.
Spain.
Yeah. Another Spain. Not Spain like before. When Muslim were there. And he had, his father was like an army guy or like a judge or something, like he had an authority or something. And he chose to go. He was sitting one time with, this is what the story says, he was sitting one time with friends of his, and he was drinking wine, and he got like he wanted to drink, and he heard a voice says to his like in his brain, in his ears, "We're not here to do that." So he was like, "So, what are we here to do?" And he was searching. So he went from Spain to Morocco to Tunisia. Then he lived a bit in Damascus, and then he ended up in Mecca. He wrote a book. It's called Al-Futuhat al-Makkiyya. He has many books.
Al-Futuhat al-Makkiyya, which
Makkiyya
means
is like in Islamic history. We learn that during the Prophet period, the Muslim had wars, like wars between them and the kuffar, the other part, and this is called al-futuhat. Al-futuhat, it means to open the country for Islam, to open the mind for Islam. But futuhat in Arabic means an opening. So he went to Mecca and he was like seeing things. So he wrote them. It's a big book, but it's nice.
it's worth reading.
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. It's basically the one being. Is
Being. Okay.
Is being.
The one being.
There's only one being.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we're all that being.
Yeah. You can call it God, you can call it whatever. It's one being, like one dimension, one. I see, I hear, I think. It's one.
One being.
One being. And I like that.
How's Sufism react to supernatural stuff that happens around the world? Like, for example, telepathy, or for example, now they're talking about objects that we can be, that coming, that you can see in the radar and the Pentagon about talking about aliens, or what they think about, they say giants live in the past. There is a lot of anomalies, phenomenon stuff in the world we can't explain, period.
Any philosophy, this is what I think. The political system or the society reflect the type of knowledge that the society has. So if the society is not like, it was simple before, it was like powerful or like weak. Weak society or weak countries had weak kind of philosophies.
If one day you would be in a tent in the desert, you would be in good age, good knowledge,
Yeah.
and a person like you in his 20s come to your
Not
tent.
20.
No, when you were 20.
Okay.
Come to your tent in the desert after they walked for 30 minutes to your tent,
Yeah.
and they open and they come in.
Yeah.
How you would describe them? Like, how would you open the door for them to Sufism?
To Sufism is, I will open the door, not
Just
to anything.
open it.
Yeah, not
Not do anything.
To nothing.
Coffee, tea.
Yeah, I
sit
will
down.
just open the door, and everything is inside the person. You seek others. It's inside of you. Everything is inside of you. All the knowledge that you seek. So being alone will teach you your own knowledge.
That's what you will tell them. Being alone will teach you the knowledge you should know.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Muhammad, was such a pleasure to know. Now I know about Sufism. Talk to me about it. Thank you for telling the people about that.
Hopefully, people will.
It's so interesting.
Thank you.
Because people don't really know what is Sufism.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, and I'm a philosopher. I'm supposed to know that things, and I don't.
I have many like religious friends, Muslim, And they always ask me like, why Sufism? It's not trending, you know.
It's not trending.
You know.
Tell them about the Sufis decor, you know, like ecstatic
Yeah,
dance. Yeah, we're having fun, Sufism.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not trending much now. But people are seeking yani, ways of knowledge, and that's one of them.
That's amazing. How can you get into it? You just look online or just
You read and practice
and
it
practice
by yourself.
meditation.
There's many societies.
There are groups that you can join and
You
find.
can join and find.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's many imams.
Is it only for Muslims or it's for everyone?
I said that. There's many schools inside of Sufism. There's some that accept different
Accept
religion.
everyone, yeah.
Other no. You need to be Muslim.
There's a lot of Israelis into Sufism these days. It's actually in Israel it's very popular these days.
Yeah.
A lot of Israelis like it, so they're going with more, let's say, accepting the brother. Every religion is accepted. Kind of guess they go with that.
Mohammed, thank you so much for coming to the 5th quarter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. This was good. Let's have some coffee or you guys good at tea?